Hey guys, the Firebird is here. It's just me, like always. My brother couldn't be here today because he was trying to get casted in Transformers 7. So he bought one of those cheesy Transformers Halloween costumes to try and fool Hasbro into allowing him in the movie. Let's see how it goes. If you see a squeaking Autobot, then you know who that is. Anyways, these are the jokes. I hope you're enjoying them. So today I have a Kingdom video for you guys, and this is a video that I said I was gonna do a long time ago, but I had to push this back because, well, college sort of got in the way, but we're here now. And if you see the title, then you probably already know that we're gonna be talking about Ultra Magnus, the main man himself. Now, Ultra Magnus in Transformers Siege was very, I don't want to say underwhelming, I guess polarizing for some people. Like, some people thought he was okay, some other people thought he was like really weird, like some of his actions made no sense at all. And personally, the way I feel about Ultra Magnus is that I get his character. I think deep down inside, he's a good person who wants to do the right thing and wants to, you know, not see both Autobots and Decepticons kill one another. But at the same time, this guy is the military commander of the Autobots. Are you telling me that the guy who's in charge of the armed forces just goes to the enemy and is like, I surrender? Just like that? I'm sorry, but that actually made no sense. And I feel like Ultra Magnus is gonna get his own Wasted Potential episode someday soon. And guys, I know some of you have been like, where's Wasted Potential? Wasted Potential hasn't been that popular for my channel, so that's why I sort of slowed down into production. I am thinking of doing the whole Transformers kill count video before I do Wasted Potential, but I guess if you guys really want it, I can do a Wasted Potential on Ultra Magnus, because I think he's a character that actually does have quite a bit of Wasted Potential. But the point is that in Siege, you know, Megatron tells Ultra Magnus to, you know, show him the location of the Autobots. Ultra Magnus takes him to this Autobot and Decepticon mass graveyard where there's of a Triumph memorial where he says that the Autobots are hiding, but that's a lie, and Ultra Magnus ends up being shot by Megatron in cold blood, which is one of the things that add to Jetfire's desire to join the Autobots later on in the series. And that's about it. Oh, and later he gets the breakdown treatment and his corpse is used to mess with the Autobots later in the series. Oh my god, Transformers has a weird obsession with dead bodies. Anyways, so that's the end of Ultra Magnus as of Siege, and people were pretty upset that he didn't really have a proper fight. The only thing that even got close to a fight scene would be when he breaks free momentarily from Decepticon captivity and holds a gun at Megatron's back, but he can't bring himself to actually shoot Megatron. Also, something else I want to add is that people were speculating that Ultra Magnus was gonna survive because, well, in case you guys don't know, Ultra Magnus, the way he looks, is not entirely his real look. The blue and red armor that he has going around is actually just that. It's armor. Inside the armor, there's a robot that looks exactly like Optimus Prime, but white. So people were speculating that somewhere around the series, like, Ultra Magnus was gonna, you know, fake his death, or maybe the armor was gonna break and Ultra Magnus was gonna come out, which it sort of looked like that was gonna be the case at one point, but ultimately it didn't, and Ultra Magnus just died. So that was another example of Wasted Potential. But then Kingdom showed up. In the live stream that we got a couple of weeks ago, we had a new artwork for Kingdom that shows some of the characters that will be appearing on the series. You got your Optimus Primal, your Megatron Beast-Wars version, Galvatron. You got the Ark, who he's gonna get his own video really soon, guys. Don't worry, I'm gonna do a video about the Ark. Waspinator, my boy Waspinator! And you also have Ultra Magnus in there. Now, it's weird because Ultra Magnus just died, and we had toy leaks revealing that we're gonna get a leader class Ultra Magnus, or at least an Ultra Magnus figure. I don't remember which figure was exactly, like what type of figure, but we do know for a fact that we're getting an Ultra Magnus toy, and it's supposedly gonna be his Earth vehicle mode, so not his Cybertron vehicle mode. He's gonna get the Earthrise treatment. Will Ultra Magnus make an appearance in Transformers Kingdom? He has artwork here, and he has a toy on the way, and typically when a Transformers has a toy, it means that they're gonna appear in the series too. This isn't always the case. There were plenty of Siege characters that never made it into, you know, the Siege Netflix TV show. So Ultra Magnus here, it doesn't really mean anything. It could also be just Hasbro trying to sell more toys and to like give Ultra Magnus fans something that they want, since, you know, we never really got an Earth vehicle mode Ultra Magnus. But that's kinda boring, so we're gonna speculate how Ultra Magnus can come back. Now, frankly, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think there's no way for Ultra Magnus, who's supposedly dead on Cybertron, to return for, Transformers Kingdom to be on Earth. We do know that for Earthrise, we're gonna be following a group of Autobots that are still stuck on Cybertron, led by Elita 1. So maybe sometime around this series, during Earthrise, Elita 1 and the other Autobots are gonna make their way to Earth. They're gonna be able to steal a ship from the Decepticons, and they're gonna meet with Optimus Prime and the other Autobots back on Earth. That's always a possibility. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because, well, let's say that they find Ultra Magnus' corpse and they manage to revive him somehow. In this continuity, and this is something that I mentioned in my previous video talking about Spinister, it seems that Autobots and Decepticons can come back from some really heavy things. I mean, Spinister got stabbed in the chest, and he came back like, oh yeah, I just got stabbed with the chest. Not a big deal. It's like Autobots and Decepticons can go through the most horrific, body injuries and still come back. So there's a chance that Elita 1 and Red Alert, find Ultra Magnus, just revive him, and then they, join forces and Ultra Magnus goes with them to Earth. That's always a possibility, because in this continuity, what can and can't kill a Transformers indefinitely hasn't really well been established. If anything, it looks like the Transformers this time around are a whole lot more durable. Although that theory kinda, it's a bit flimsy, because, Spinister survives being stabbed through the chest, but Skywarp dies from a small wound in his lower body, which sort of makes no sense. Yeah, Netflix really needs to work on that. Rooster Teeth really needs to work on that. The second theory is the time travel theory. And now, I'm not throwing this out of nowhere, because it has been confirmed that Kingdom is gonna be a time travel story. Somehow, maybe the Allspark or the Golden Disc is gonna mess with the history of the planet, and it's gonna revert the state of the planet to a more prehistoric time. And since we know that in the actual Beast Wars show, the Beast Wars takes place, again, it's in a time paradox basically. The Maximals and Predacons basically fight in prehistoric Earth. So my guess is that the Autobots and Decepticons, when they land on Earth, they're gonna see human civilization, they're gonna scan their vehicle modes from, the humans that inhabit the planet, and then something's gonna happen that's gonna transport, or it's gonna turn Earth prehistoric, and we're gonna start seeing the Maximals and Predacons, who are also time displaced. Remember, the Maximals and Predacons are the ancestors, the predecessors of the Autobots and Decepticons. Because the Autobots and Decepticons, in the future, they transition from using energon to other sources of fuel, and they become smaller, and they become Maximals and Predacons respectively. So my theory is that maybe doing this whole time distortion thing, Ultra Magnus just so happens to also arrive on the planet, he gets pulled out of the time stream or whatever, which could happen. But the problem with this theory is that we're assuming that only Earth is gonna be affected. If Earth is only affected by this weird time paradox thing, then how is Ultra Magnus on Earth if he has never touched Earth in this continuity? Well, the time travel theory makes sense as to explain why we see Maximals and Predacons. It doesn't really make sense with Ultra Magnus, because he has never arrived on there. He's not even in the arc with the other Autobots. So my opinion says that I believe that Ultra Magnus is gonna be revived on Cybertron. Elita 1 and the other Autobots are gonna find him, they're gonna revive him somehow. Once that happens, he and Elita 1 and the others are gonna embark on a journey to Earth, where they find Optimus Prime just in time before the time paradox happens. Just in time for Ultra Magnus to scan an Earth vehicle mode. Because here we see Warpath, here we see Huffer, I think. I don't know the yellow guy's name. We see a lot of characters, and some of them who have Earth vehicle modes, modern vehicle modes. So both Autobots and Decepticons are gonna have time to scan some human vehicle modes. And Ultra Magnus over here does not Siege Ultra Magnus, is an Earth-based Ultra Magnus. I'm guessing that he's also gonna arrive before the whole shenanigans with the time paradox takes place. Because unless this is a time paradox which affects the entire universe, and it kind of just brings Ultra Magnus back to life all the way from Cybertron, and he later joins Optimus Prime on Earth. There's not many ways in which I can justify the time paradox bringing Ultra Magnus on Earth. And it's not the fact that he's alive that bothers me, it's the fact that how is he on Earth? He has never been on Earth in this continuity. So how is he here? So that's what I'm thinking. Elita 1 and Red Alert are gonna be responsible for bringing Ultra Magnus back, and then they're gonna join Optimus Prime on Earth, because I doubt that Megatron is just going to leave the remaining Autobots on Earth. on Cybertron. He could do that, like in G1 where he left Shockwave to hunt down the remaining Autobots and protect Cybertron. He could do that, but at the same time, it's like, it's very unlikely, it's very weird, because Kingdom seems to be a big event. For Airrise, we're seeing many perspectives. We're seeing the perspective of Optimus Prime and his crew, we're seeing the perspective of the Decepticons on Cybertron, we're seeing the perspective of the mercenaries, and we're seeing the perspective of the Autobots that got left behind on Cybertron. So for this, I don't see us like going back and forth. I feel like Kingdom, the Beast Wars itself, is gonna be the main event, and we're gonna see all of these different factions just converging into on Earth for like the Golden Disc or the Allspark or whatever it is that they're looking for. Kind of like Infinity War. But hey, that's just my opinion. When it comes to time travel, things can be either really, really good and really interesting, or they can be really bad and really mishandled. We will have to wait and see as to how Hasbro and Rooster Teeth handles the whole Beast War scenario and the whole justification for Ultra Magnus coming back. I definitely do believe he's gonna come back. I don't see them just releasing an Ultra Magnus toy for the lulz. Because in case you guys don't know, the way Hasbro does their toys, the way they choose which characters get more toys than others is if they're alive or not. Kids are more willing to buy toys of characters that are still alive in movies. They don't like buying dead characters that, you know, a character died in the movie, so I'm less likely to buy their toy. It's a weird reasoning, but it's something that does happen. So Ultra Magnus being dead here and him probably being listed as a leader class toy is not good for sales, so I think they're gonna like throw some justification for him being alive. I definitely do think Ultra Magnus is gonna come back. The question is as to how he comes back and if it's handled correctly. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know yours. Today's question of the day is, how do you guys feel about Ultra Magnus coming back for Transformers Kingdom? Are you guys okay with it? Are you guys upset with it? Do you think he should just stay dead? Did you like him in Siege or not? And do you guys think that my theory is correct? I mean, one of my theories. I provided many different examples as to how Ultra Magnus can appear on Earth and on the whole Beast Wars setting. Let me know if you have a different idea than mine, or if you agree with my ideas and will make some changes. I read the comments, even though I don't answer to all of them. I finally opened my Discord server to the public, so I'm gonna put a link for it in the description down below. It's gonna be limited, first come first serve thing. I'm gonna be letting people in like in rows. Right now I'm just gonna let a couple of people in, and as we go on I'll set up some new links for more people to join eventually. So yeah, I hope to see you there and look forward to talking to all of you. I just hope they don't mess Ultra Magnus up again. But anyways guys, before we go, shout out to our patrons: TrueBlue712, Stitch Productions, Stephanie Bowler, Christopher Prime, Predaking Hunter Plays, Mario Gordon, and the absolute madman himself, Jordan the Great, who donated $100. Thanks a lot to you guys. I tip my fedora in gratitude. A link to their channels and our Patreon are gonna be in the description and in the comments down below. Make sure to go check out their channels. Some of these guys do pretty cool content, and if you guys want to shout out your subs, all you have to do is donate to our Patreon. By donating to our Patreon, you get quite a few rewards. You can collab with me in some of my videos, you get exclusive roles on my Discord server, you can request your own videos, maybe even appear in some of my videos if you so choose, and I'm adding more rewards as time goes on. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. But keep in mind that it is completely optional, because freedom is the right of all sentient beings. So yeah, thank you guys for donating, it's much appreciated, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.